Arnold Schwarzenegger's story proves that dreams know no borders or limitations. Born in a small Austrian village, he dared to imagine a life grander than anyone around him believed possible. From aspiring bodybuilder to global superstar, he never accepted no as the final answer. Through relentless discipline, audacious self-belief, and a fierce refusal to stay confined by circumstance, Arnold turned obstacles into opportunities. Today, let's explore the lessons behind his legendary ascent and discover how we too can flex our determination to achieve extraordinary success. Austrian beginnings and the seed of ambition. Arnold Schwarzenegger was raised in Thal, a quiet Austrian town with a population that barely surpassed the size of a modest crowd. Despite his humble upbringing, he displayed a boundless sense of possibility from a young age. Though resources were scarce, his imagination was lavish. He collected magazines about bodybuilding and power sports, mesmerized by the images of Herculean men who seemed to sculpt their own destinies with iron discipline. It wasn't just their size that captivated him, it was their willingness to push beyond the realm of the ordinary. Every article he read seemed to whisper that greatness was within reach if he was willing to embrace the pain and demand more from himself than anyone else dared. This belief might have seemed unrealistic for a boy whose home lacked indoor plumbing. Yet amid the farmland chores and the strict upbringing from a police chief father, he saw a different path for himself, one that extended far beyond the winding roads of his village. In his early teens, he began training with rudimentary weights, determined to transform his physique into the heroic figure he envisioned. Friends teased him for his outlandish dreams, but those taunts only fueled his determination further. Have you ever had a goal so big it made others doubt your sanity? Arnold faced that skepticism head on, seeing it not as a warning to shrink his ambition, but as a challenge to prove that even the most far-fetched dreams can sprout from the unlikeliest of soils. This fearless approach would become the bedrock for everything he did next. Bodybuilding as a stepping stone to stardom. Arnold's fascination with bodybuilding became an all-consuming passion, pushing him to master the discipline that would soon reshape both his muscles and his mindset. Armed with a fierce work ethic, he spent countless hours perfecting techniques, studying nutritional science, and visualizing every muscle fiber growing stronger with each lift. He entered his first competitions in Europe, earning minor recognition, but learning volumes about stage presence, mental focus, and the art of captivating an audience. These early contests were more than mere sporting events. They were his training ground for the spotlight he knew awaited him. With each trophy, his reputation grew, culminating in the coveted Mr. Universe title. The significance went beyond a medal or a short burst of fame. It signaled that a once unknown farm boy from Austria could stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. But for Arnold, bodybuilding was never the end goal. It was a vehicle to catapult him into broader horizons. Like a sculptor chiseling away at a raw block of marble, he meticulously crafted his physique to be his calling card, a symbol of relentless drive and ambition. Soon enough, Hollywood agents came knocking, intrigued not just by his towering frame, but by the magnetic confidence that radiated from within. He had proven that mastery in one arena can become your passport to another, as long as you approach every pursuit with unwavering determination and a hunger to expand your potential. Facing Hollywood's doubt and refusing to quit. When Arnold first arrived in Hollywood, his accent was deemed too thick, his name too long, and his physique too bulky for the silver screen. Directors and producers often sidestepped him, believing he lacked the finesse to embody any leading role. Yet, true to form, he never interpreted these rejections as signals to give up. Rather, he treated them like temporary hurdles demanding extra effort. He enrolled in English classes to refine his pronunciation and took acting lessons to improve his on-camera presence. Just as he had relentlessly honed every muscle group, he now tackled every skill gap standing in the way of stardom. The naysayers said his accent would never work, but it became one of his most iconic traits. lending memorable catchphrases to his roles. They said his bulky frame was too niche for mainstream audiences, yet it helped him command the screen with a larger-than-life persona. Sometimes the very traits others see as disadvantages turn out to be your biggest differentiators. How often have you let someone else's narrow vision define what you can become? By persevering, Arnold revealed a key truth. External critics judge you by what they see, but your potential is measured by the effort you're willing to invest to improve. His unwavering resolve to refine his weaknesses and amplify his strengths eventually paved the way for breakout roles in films like Conan the Barbarian and The Terminator, establishing him as a force that Hollywood could no longer overlook. From action hero to cultural icon, Arnold's breakthrough on the big screen was more than a personal victory. It signaled the arrival of a new kind of action hero. His characters combine raw power with a surprisingly genuine sense of humor, paving the way for blockbuster hits that transcended the typical boundaries of action cinema. But he didn't rest on the laurels of muscles and machismo, recognizing that audiences were drawn not only to his physique, but also to his charismatic personality. He ventured beyond the violence-laden blockbusters into comedic roles like Twins and Kindergarten Cop. These choices, unconventional at the time, showcase his willingness to take calculated risks and reinvent himself. Much like a brilliant strategist adjusting tactics on the battlefield, Arnold adapted to changing audience tastes and the evolving Hollywood landscape. He became not just a bodybuilder turned actor, but a brand, a household name that spanned continents. For millions, his accent and confident catchphrases symbolize possibilities beyond the status quo. This global cultural resonance stemmed from his refusal to be pigeonholed. He believed that true greatness means continuously expanding your skill set, never allowing success in one area to box you into a single identity. That same spirit of reinvention, combined with an infectious optimism, positioned him as a trailblazer for generations of aspiring actors, athletes, and entrepreneurs. His story demonstrated that it's not enough to simply arrive on the scene. You have to keep evolving if you want to leave a lasting imprint on the world. Public service and the power of reinvention. Even as he enjoyed blockbuster success, Arnold felt called to serve in a capacity that would impact communities beyond the realm of entertainment. His run for governor of California was initially met with skepticism. How could an action star effectively lead the nation's most populous state? Yet once again, he resisted the naysayers. Drawing on the same discipline and self-belief that had fueled his ascent in bodybuilding in Hollywood, he delved into public policy, climate initiatives, and educational programs. While opinions differ on his performance as governor, no one can deny that his willingness to step into an arena unfamiliar to most celebrities took extraordinary courage. Through bipartisan collaboration and a focus on fitness and environmental policies, he left a unique stamp on California's political landscape. This chapter of his life underscores a universal lesson. Reinvention isn't just for career moves, it's a method of lifelong evolution. Imagine your own aspirations. Would you dare enter a field where your reputation doesn't automatically translate into credibility? By doing just that, Arnold embodied a leadership style shaped by determination, adaptability, and the capacity to unite people around a vision. Through successes and setbacks alike, he remained undeterred, choosing to see each hurdle as an opportunity to refine his purpose rather than an excuse to retreat. His pivot into public service confirmed that superstar status isn't confined to a single industry if you bring passion, preparedness, and authenticity to every role you embrace. Legacy of a champion's mindset. Look beyond the trophies, the box office hits, and even the political stage, and you'll see a man who credits his achievements to a champion's mindset forged by discipline, unwavering confidence, and a powerful sense of mission. Arnold once said, "The worst thing I can be is the same as everybody else." I hate that. This unyielding drive to stand out and excel underpinned his entire life. For him, success was never a finish line. It was a continuous cycle of setting bigger goals, taking bold risks, and refusing to accept the limitations others tried to impose on him. Whether he was perfecting a bodybuilding pose, refining an acting role, or guiding legislative initiatives, he approached each challenge with the same rep-by-rep dedication. If something didn't work, he broke it down, studied it, and improved it, just as he had done with every stubborn muscle group in his workouts. Have you ever considered that your persistence in the face of adversity might be your most valuable trait? Arnold's story reminds us that resilience isn't a trait reserved for the famously strong. It's cultivated one struggle at a time. He elevated himself from an Austrian village to global acclaim, not by some stroke of luck, but by methodically building his physique, his skills, and ultimately his influence. The legend of Arnold Schwarzenegger stands as proof that consistent effort anchored in an audacious dream can transform a person from any walk of life into a force felt around the world. Arnold Schwarzenegger's path from a modest Austrian hometown to international superstardom shows that true destiny is crafted by the grit to keep pushing, the courage to keep dreaming, and the vision to see what's possible. His journey demonstrates that no obstacle is insurmountable if you're willing to do the work, adapt, and never lose sight of your aspirations. Now is the perfect time to reflect on your own ambitions. If you found inspiration here, please like, share, and subscribe to Rise and Inspire, where we explore the power of unstoppable dreams.